Hello, mechanical tubers, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy Renaissance with me, BlueAnkylo, and our team of version 2.2 characters, with a couple standard, fighter red mages, and then the two new guys. The new guys, we got a Ronin, and we got a machinist. I think machinist, probably. I don't know. I never looked it up. Anyway, yeah, we got these two. Just in terms of, I got a couple level ups between episodes, mostly to get money, really, not so much for the levels. Just looking at the growths real quickly, comparative. The Ronin, I don't expect is going to get as much strength ever as the warrior, but looks like they're going to stay ahead in agility and probably luck. Maybe similar vitality. So it's very similar, and I have to say, just in early game, even though they don't get a silver sword specifically, they can use a silver spear, which is basically the same weapon. They feel very much like a fighter early game, which is good, because fighters are really, really strong. They do technically miss out on the iron armor and the iron shield, so they're a little bit lower absorbed, although it's a little hard to track our absorb right now, because there's another mechanic with those little earth little bubble there. But yeah, the idea is, I would say, just in terms of base weapon, armor, and stats, the Ronin is very similar to the warrior early game. They can equip more weapons, including bows, which are garbage, as always. But I'm hoping they get some cool katanas later on and stuff like that. But so far, so good. I will say the skills almost never matter, because it takes too long to charge them up. Although, at the moment, we basically get 100 TP per attack, because we have 2 attacks at 32%. So once you're like level 5 or 6, you'll probably be able to get a skill every second turn-ish. Or, I believe, if you use a bow from the beginning, even just a regular bow at the beginning of the game, you could shoot once, and you should get 100 TP from it, because bows get double the normal amount. So bows get a little bit of advantage in the early game, and then it's kind of the same. And then other weapons, as you're getting 3, 4, 5 hits per turn, will certainly outscale bow TP. So bows, as always, it's just not very good. I did test out specifically just to see if I spent a lot of money on this dumb bow, just to test it out in case you could get 2 attacks with it. The answer is nope, you still get 1 attack, and the damage is still garbage. And even with a character that has relatively good strength compared to an archer, and good hit percent growth as well, it's still way, way worse than the spear. Not even close. So if you're playing along with the new class, I would throw the bows in a garbage dump. Never buy them. Now, there may be some good skills, and I haven't really got into that too much yet. There's a lot of skills. Each weapon the samurai can equip seems to have its own skill. I haven't seen a duplicate yet. Momentum doesn't seem very good to me. Requires a chain of skills, so even harder to charge up. But, theoretically, sonic damage is mostly, if it works like a bard, it should be an auto hit, 0 armor, and a chance to inflict silence. I don't know what that chance is, but there's a couple enemies that would be good against, like old Astos coming up today, maybe. Our other character is the Machinima. Their physical damage output is bad. The musket does not scale very well, and they don't actually get I think they might be one of the rare classes that has no upgrade available in Elfland. I think every martial has an upgrade, and then even like the white mage and black mage get a small upgrade. But any of the normal melee characters get big upgrades, including even the archer, technically. The Machinist is one of the ones that doesn't get anything, which is kind of weird. So their damage output is bad. Its hit rate is low enough that we miss a lot, which sucks. Basically, we're at the point where the fighter and samurai, or Ronin, are generally doing 100 to 150 damage pretty reliably, just like you'd expect in vanilla. The fighter at level 8, well, anything above level 5 or so, tends to just stomp on the early game. They're, as always, the best. The Ronin is very similar, 35, 46. I mean, there's 1 damage difference for 1 extra crit. It's practically identical, really. So, yeah, they're really good at killing things. The red mage is also doing quite well. They're a little bit behind, as is tradition, but I did give them the silver sword. All that to say, the Machinist, I think, is more of a support class. Their basic attack damage is pretty weak, but they do get chain armor and stuff, so their armor isn't as bad as some support. Like, if you're playing along with, like, a dancer or something, they can't wear, like, any armor at all in a bard. Like, a lot of the other sort of support, white mage, green mage, basically don't get to wear armor. So maybe we've got a heavy armored support. We'll see. It's still pretty early. And unfortunately, their first two tools, I have to give very low marks. I crafted a bunch. I spent the time to buy a bunch of wood staves and rapiers, and then demolish them to make, 20 or 30 of the thing, which is just a waste of time. Just inventory micro, basically. And I bought a bunch of the random starting gear, so everything, wire and bolts are from Canaria. Lens, and they're for auto crossbows. Lenses and cells are for the blinding machine, which is probably trash. And then tubes and spikes, I haven't seen any use for, but I started buying a few, so I've got them. There are some other things we could probably spend money. I can technically get silver right now, but it is pretty expensive. I don't know the most efficient way of getting silver. Obviously, the sword is cheaper than the spear, and the elven bow actually gives you wood. So this means 8 for 400 means it's about 500 gold per silver right now, which is a bit pricey. I'm not sure we should be trying to do that just yet, but there might be other ways of getting silver, maybe. But that's one of the rare things. We can also get leather. I haven't seen a use for that just yet, but we can obviously get as much leather as we want. Gloves are cheap. Wood is fairly easy to get. I haven't seen anything else, I don't think. Oh, there's cloth. No? I thought there was cloth. Yeah, in the cap. Okay. So there's cloth, there's leather, there's wood, there's metal, and silver. So far, I've found that much. And there might be more. In fact, it's possible you can get copper. I don't really care to spend the money on it right now. But anyway, that's kind of my take so far. The starting skills are basically useless. That's not enough damage, and you have to continuously craft it, which is annoying. And dark, I mean, I didn't even bother to learn it because it would have been just styling on it. I think the red mage's level 2 dark spell would work probably way more often than this, plus it's just on a spell slot. I have to craft it every time I want to use it. I did buy some basic spells. I'm trying to lean the red mage into support rather than massive damage, although the AoE is quite nice. But mutant, slow, hold, sleep, the status spells, because although I didn't really talk about it, Saboteur is pretty cool. So I'm going to try to lean into that if we need it, although I don't expect that we're going to need to use a lot of fighter or red mage abilities. The goal is to highlight the new classes. Anyway, let us continue. We are clearly going to Marsh next. Let's just forget about that. Ambush. And I don't think we'll have too much trouble. We're pretty heavily armored. I did buy a good amount of pures and heal potions and all the usual. I don't have a lot of houses, so I want to hold on to my spells for sort of emergencies. But yeah, you can see how my combat goes here for a couple fights here. So Oron will almost always get a skill on the second turn if he gets a second turn. It doesn't happen because he's basically like a fighter, and the fighter should just be attacking. In fact, it is one of the major problems with the fighter's war cry, which I'm also not using very much, because realistically we should just be attacking with him, right? So, why use a skill when you could just kill something anyway? I don't know. We'll keep an eye on it. I'll keep trying to find a good use for it. But for now, I consider skills in the early game on the Samurai and the Machinist, or the Ronin and the Machinist, basically worthless. Worth nearly zero. Oh, come on. Arachnid ambush. It's not that we can't kill him, it's just poisons. There we go. I have enough pure potions, it's not a big deal, but Okay, so we're gonna do some exploring, because I am hopeful to find either flowers for samurai skills or recipes for machinist skills. There's got to be a level 3 tool somewhere around here. I feel like it has to happen. And even a level 4 one shouldn't be too far away, because we're at that level of spells anyway, of magic. You know, Elfland has level 3 and 4 spells. I guess they could keep the level 4 tool until Melmond, perhaps. But either way, the Melmond area, like, we need to start getting these fairly soon. Now, there is a hidden advantage for looting now. If I don't want to sell them, I can just turn them into scrap, which, it's okay. I mean, the money is nice. But maybe there's an advantage to having a thief with the Machinist. Maybe I should have thought of that. Although I don't have like an updated thief steal list or search list. It is possible there's some new ones. You know, I don't think I read anything in the patch log, or the patch notes. But in theory, you know, it's possible. But yeah, most of these things, common weapons just seem to give us metal and stuff, which, you know, it's probably still more efficient to sell the short sword and then buy rapiers to change them into metal if you want metal. It's 5 gold per small knife, I guess is the cheapest, I think. And it's 1 metal per small knife. So that's probably better. Same thing with wood. I guess like cloth and we can fight a fight, I guess. Mucks aren't too bad. I mean, they're easy. Hey, we got... Oh, that's right. I forgot to talk about that. So, while I was grinding against Kaizokus, I also fought some Sahagins, or Sahags. They drop water ore pretty reliably, but I didn't want to test it out, so I didn't go back to the dwarves yet. We'll be going there soon enough. But also, you get lightning ore. So, yeah, we gotta keep fighting stuff maybe more than normal. I am a bit of a runaholic. I mean, this is not going to do anything, right? Just run. Well, maybe it works on undead. No, I think undead actually have status protection, right? We're looking for ghouls. Yeah, they resist the status element, which is what it says that does. So unless you have it like time elemental darkness or non-elemental darkness, they're just going to resist it anyway. Unless there's some hidden mechanic I don't understand. Okay. Let's keep going. I'll look up here just in case. But yeah, so far I would say I like Ronin for his fighter-like abilities and kind of new weapons and armor. That's kind of cool. And I like the crafting potential on the Machinists, but I'm just not sold on their skills just yet. But we still have time. Lots of time. Iron armor, yeah. I did buy one for my fighter. I guess technically having the gun means you can kill scums. Yeah, because normally you can't really damage them. But as long as you've got the gun equipped, you can get an auto crit, basically. Also, momentum seems to work pretty well. Hey! Oh, nice. I gotta remember not to play too fast. I have a lot of muscle memory and just, you know, tradition of doing it, playing a certain way. I will take the metal, and I will take... Okay, copper is just a metal, of course. Sure. But yeah, I've got to take a few more fights, because I want to get the ores for use. And I'm trying to think of, you know, times where my new classes might be actually useful. And, yeah, the auto crits, just like the Bard, pretty good against certain enemies. Okay, let's see how we do against the wizards. I'd like to use lightning too here, but I actually think attacking might be better. And I think they do have status protection, so as always, I will double check. Yeah, they sure do. As always, very few things work on these bad boys. Lightning too, though. This is why I brought a red mage. Just in case. Just in case. Alright, let's finish our first level of looting. This group, because we need a lot of money, and also killing enemies gives us ores, I should try to take a few extra fights. I'd like to see what all the ore can do. This might be more scums than I care to fight. Yeah. Just shooting them once per turn sounds kind of too slow. Ambushed again. Alright, alright. I mean, maybe once we're all poisoned, we should just kill them anyway. Harm is done, you know. Well, that pays for the pure potions. Alright, let's get out of here. But yeah, we'll definitely do some augmenting of our weapons and armor once we get to Dwarf. No stouts. And I will probably take the time to come back and get all the loot at the bottom floor again. Because, like, we can get the Bard Harp, the free one in the bottom, and just deconstruct it, see what we get, you know? If we can start getting some silver, then we can start learning about forging with silver and stuff like that, which might get me some good weapons. Check that top right room now. There's gotta be something. I should get out of here. Oh man, come on. The critical hit against Edgar. Come on. I have a little bit of healing. It's better to kill stuff, probably. You can drink yourself a kill potion. Mucks do hit pretty hard, so... I'm pushing my luck, but I was hoping to get the third tool before too much longer, and I don't know... I'm not looking it up, so... Hey, we're fighting extra fights just for you guys. We're getting level ups just for you guys at home. That's it. I'm done. There is a bottom left room that maybe has something, but... Not right now. Alright, we'll fight the scums. Maybe we'll get another lightning. I guess the momentum on Oron would... maybe I should have fought the 4 packs of scums anyway, because we have a couple ways to kill them. Not counting magic. Alright, easy enough dungeon. I didn't expect this would be the group that would struggle. And I think, I mean, I literally cast 1 spell. I think we just go deal with Astos immediately. But yeah, you can see the difference in the gun damage. We need a much stronger gun for that to keep up with silver swords and stuff. Do I want to use it? I think I might try to hold. Nah. We're going to be trying to mute him. Well, I don't know. We will be getting a silver hammer here shortly, too, which might be an option for Edgar. I guess going hammers reminds me of Sid from FF4. Maybe it's kind of a cross between Sid and Edgar, to be honest. Okay, full health. Let's see if Astos can put up a fight. We're gonna fight. We're gonna fight. We're gonna try to mute. And I mean, we're just gonna fight. There's nothing else that does anything here. First try mute. Yeah, red mage is pretty good, by the way. I guess we try to hold him as well. No, that's okay. We already won. He just doesn't know it. The gun works pretty well on Astos. One of the problems with Astos is he's got way too much armor. 40 absorb is kind of stupid at this point in the game, honestly. You know, without crits, I guess the warrior would slice them up pretty decently with 37 base. Yeah, these guys are pretty strong. But the ability to just ignore the armor is pretty cool on the crits. So anyway, that's that. I can't believe we got mute first try. That makes that pretty easy. Red Mage, you know. I've talked before about how Red Mage is one of my A tier classes. Hopefully I'm demonstrating it a little bit more here. Fighter Red Mage, you can pretty much, like, if you had to make a two-man party, that's probably the strongest two-man party. Probably. At least in vanilla, at the very least. We can save. It doesn't really matter. We got a bit of money. But obviously, with the way this party works... we could take this fight. The way this party works, we want so much gold. So I might not be buying a lot of red magic spells at the very beginning. You know, we'll pick them up as we go, but like the first 3 levels aren't too crazy expensive, but level 4 is 4 grand a pop, level 5 is 8 grand a pop, and then 20 grand. Like they get crazy expensive. And I want to make sure I've got enough money for my my crafting. Maybe. I mean, if I never use auto crossbows and flashes, what do I care about buying all those supplies? I don't know. It's another one that's kind of weird. It reminds me of the archer crafting a little bit. I don't know why there's all these extra jumps to buy knives and staves and stuff to decompile them, and then buying random things here. I kind of have a feeling that you should just say you could only make auto... Like, I think you should just be able to build them and they're not consumed. Or you just buy them in a town if you want, I guess. Like, just buy the weapon itself. Like, you spend... Just say... You know, we have a shop. You can have a shop in here, right here, just right beside the item shop, where you just... It's like the forge in the dwarf cave, where you just buy your tools, or it's like a crafting... I don't know. It just seems like there's too many steps for basically no value right now. Maybe the other tools will be really good, though. I don't know. But so far, the 2 tools are basically worthless. And they don't cost a lot of money. I forget the cheapest formula, but we're looking like 50, 60, 70 gold per use right now. Which is, like, if I could just change money into them, that would be fine. The problem is you have to buy the stuff, buy the weapons and armor, deconstruct those, and then craft. It's too many steps for me. For garbage, you know. I don't know. If they were really strong, like, I don't know, how strong would they have to be? They'd have to be competitive with magic, at least, if not better than magic. And the auto crossbow, so again, my letdown is, I was thinking auto crossbow would be like FF6, where Edgar can just use it every fight, every turn if you want. And although it's not the best long-term damage in FF6, it's certainly not bad. And early game, it's good damage. The Bio Blaster's decent damage too, pretty early on, as long as the enemies you're fighting aren't, immune to poison or something. Like, I was kind of hoping the Machinist here would be similar, where you just get a tool and then you could just start using it. I don't know why we are not allowed to. I'm not sure what the logic behind non-reusable crossbows are. It wasn't overpowered in FF6, I don't think, and the enemies there had, like, tons of hit points, comparatively. Anyway, I don't want to rant about it too much, but we'll see by the end of the game if I change my mind. Alright, we get our key. Key to the world. And now we can start getting silver tier stuff for free. Now, do I switch this? This is a 18 base. So, because he gets 50% bonus damage as a Machinist. So, right now we're looking at effectively 11, but always a crit if you hit. You can definitely miss, but if you hit, it's going to be 22 to 44 damage with ignoring armor, because it's always a crit. If you go this way, it's 23 to 46 with a tiny chance to double it, but minus armor. I think that's worse almost always. Did it update? So I think when we had the axe on the Beastmaster, having the weapon in his slot automatically updated the hit rate for the plus 10% hit rate. But now this one doesn't do the same thing? I mean, maybe I'm misreading it. Yeah, okay, so that should be 17 normally. Instead of 17, we're getting 23, which is plus 6. Yeah, okay. So we're getting exactly plus 6, 50% of the weapon damage added. But it doesn't show you on the weapon screen, which is weird because it's the opposite of what the trainer, the Beastmaster, did with their axes. That's weird. I don't know why they would do it differently. And maybe that's a bug, technically, on one of them. But anyway, let's go do some looting. And we will always need money, so I suppose whenever I'm leaving town, I should make sure I fight some Kaizokus, because we can get a few $100 every time. And might as well just use some magic. Oh, did I leave the hammer equipped? Eh. I think I'll just melt it down, actually. I need silver. I do need some silver. Oh yeah, I can show you guys how we get water ore very easy. So it's nice. I'm actually quite happy with the ore drop rate. The fact that you don't need the hunter to kill it with a melee attack or anything. One more Kaiser. Definitely feels pretty solid. As long as I don't need, like, you know, hundreds of them, I think we're doing just fine for ores, the way that drop rate works. There's already enough grinding in FF1. We don't need way more, basically. Alright, we're gonna have to make some space here. Okay. We are going to... I'm gonna end up with better gloves in a second anyway. Silver hammer does give you 10 silver. Ooh, that's interesting, because the silver sword is 4,000 for 8. A silver hammer, I think, in a second we can buy them for 2,500. So that's half the price for silver. 250 gold each, I think. And then the silver knife, I'll have to see what the price is, I forget. We'll figure out what the cheapest one is later. Okay. I'm not gonna make a spreadsheet just yet, but if I need it, I'll get there. Let's pick up the rune and wear swords. Nice run there. Keep your eyes open for flowers and recipe books. Also, gargoyles might drop earth ore or something, so we're about to go to the dwarf cave pretty soon. I did get something. Okay, so ooh, the samurai can't equip the rune sword? The ability to change weapons mid-battle. This is like the perfect kind of thing. Now, it has an augment already. Is that caster effectiveness? Interesting. Do we get that back? Yeah. Okay. So, ooh. So that means you can move... Ooh, that's a spicy meatball. Okay. That's really cool. Oh. Did you guys see that the first time I ran by? Don't miss the pixel. So we can move weapon effects from vanilla weapons into different weapons. Does that mean you could deconstruct the Excalibur and get effective all on the Massa? Is there any other better ones? The ribbon? Ooh, could we take the ribbon resist all and put it on, like, I don't know, gold bracelet or something? Well, we have some things to think about before long. It will take a little while. But okay, I did not see this. I'm gonna go save it. I don't know what those do. Strength or versatility? I mean, if strength just gives me flat strength bonus, I'll take it. We're gonna see them both, and we're gonna make a decision based on science. I definitely missed that. There's probably some comments on the first video already. I wonder how many of those tiny little petals I've missed because they are pretty small. But now that I've seen them, maybe I'll be able to notice them. Good thing we came back. Are you freaking kidding me? Fail, 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 fail. Okay, so let's look at his stats. I'm assuming strength, so 21. Versatility, I don't know what versatility would mean. 193, 21, 18, 10. Okay, you guys remember those numbers. Oh, strength, it's a fight. Ah. Okay. I mean, I do have, like, cool spell. Oh, right. I don't know if he has any skills, but let's try to put him asleep. Nope. 100 damage. Okay, we should have fought this guy back when he was, yeah. Okay. He's a Garland level 2 tier enemy. We should have dealt with that a long time ago. We get... Wait. Swords? I couldn't get a good sword. So there's no Elfland tier swords, but we're gonna have Melmond and Crescent Lake. There's gotta be a sword for him coming up soon. I would probably take Double Hand, especially if he can't wear better shields. Yeah, that's very much the FF5, I think. I guess it's the Knight ability, technically. Base damage plus 50 on swords, but swords are good. If you could equip a silver sword, that'd be a 32 damage. That'd be nice. Okay, but first, let's go see what the other one is. Because versatility, right? Okay, so they're just giving us skills. Oh, choose your own build, samurai. Okay, I wish I'd found this earlier, because, yeah. Let's see what versatility gives. I assume I don't really need to worry about this Ronin. I wonder if there's some flowers in Marsh that I missed. I'll have to keep my eyes open when we go back. Retain TP. Wait. Those are both... Ooh, I see. Okay, I was thinking switching swords or switching weapons mid-combat was worthless because it always resets your TP. Oh no, now you have to decide how you want to build. Do you want to focus on skills or do you want to just do raw damage? Okay, I'm gonna say my initial impression is raw damage will be better. Although I don't have a good sword yet, I'm quite confident our ultimate weapon for the samurai will be a sword. However, this will let us use skills. And skills are the new thing. And although I think skills are not great yet, once we're doing multiple attacks, like when we can get 200 or 300 TP in a single turn, and then chain together like 3 skills in one turn, that might suddenly feel quite good. Versatility. Okay. Okay. It's a good thing I saw that on this repeat. I promise I didn't look anything up. That's why I missed it the first time, and I almost missed it the second time as well. But okay. So it said Fallen Samurai. I think it's safe to assume that they will be in dungeons. but we should keep our eyes open, and that does mean I have to check Marsh again. We can't run away from 3 imps. Let me also, while I'm thinking about it, check. Yeah, Werebeast. Now, Werebeast is a pretty weak effect. You do get silver out of that one and only metal out of that one. That's weird. And I'm still geared up mostly enough to go back to Marsh. Okay. Let's go. Okay, that's okay, my excitement level went +1 by finding that skill upgrade for the samurai. Okay. Alright. I gotta pay better attention to dungeon floor tiles. That was very sneaky, but usually in old games, like this isn't unique to Renaissance or anything. In old 8-bit, you know, Sega or Nintendo games, the first one is always the worst because your brain doesn't know the pattern to look for, and especially on a game that I've played a million times, I'm barely looking because, you know, I've long since memorized the maps pretty much down to the tile, honestly. I wonder if I could draw out every map. There'd be sections of some maps, like on the volcano, that we never go to, like the maze floor, but I think most maps I would do pretty good just drawing it from memory, honestly. I'll save the fire 2s for Marsh. Actually, I might burn a couple on mummies or images. I know I've been postponing my trip to the dwarf longer and longer. That's where the forging is coming up for the engineer, but we'll get there. There's a lot of things that just unlock once we open up the outer sea. I should be looking for petals here as well. I think if it was on black, it would be very easy. It's when it mixes in with the existing, like, fuzzy tiles. I think on a CRT, it would be even harder to see, like on the old TV screen, because it blends stuff together even more. At least on LCDs, it's pretty crisp. Seeing the pixels might actually be in our benefit right now. Alright, Falcon, Rune, Power, those are all basically garbage. The only thing worth anything, I suppose, is interesting. Lots of people can wear iron gloves. Wait, the Ronin very specifically could not equip iron armor or iron shields. However, they can equip iron gloves. Weird. Alright, well, let's get rid of the old gloves at least. A little bit of leather. No one can ever... Ooh! See, this was a really good idea. No one can ever actually equip the harp. So having the thief would be really good, because you get a lot of random junk for other classes that you normally can't do anything with. Thief plus Machinist is a very much combo. Alright, that's interesting. Power Stick is probably worth more to sell. Falcon doesn't really matter. Alright. Right, so I want to just check here. In theory, these are pretty good drops for some sort of orb. Not that I'm going to be doing a big grind right now. Of course, we can put this sleep. Everything's going to be dead before I finally use it. There we go. So mummies give us earth. So as far as I know, earth just gives us absorb, although it might be a crafting recipe. So let's fight one more group. And I will also take a fight against the images. I think the images actually give you ice as an ore. It's a nice pack. So, of course, the red mage continuously gets the one that's hit by sleep and stun. Man, brutal. At least we're basically one-shotting them with the fighters. But yeah, Fire 2. What I was thinking was the Machinist or Machine. I don't know what's the official pronunciation guide for that. They sound like they really want a thief, and a black mage. Because then the black mage can burn through encounters to get them all the drops they need, and the thief can get them some extra stuff. Because we're going to need lots of ore, and we're going to need lots of rare weapons and armor to deconstruct. Okay, let's not push our luck there, but we do get a little bit of ice. So the main thing there is I will be able to see what the ore augments are, or whatever they were. Because earth was absorbed. Surely one of them is damage up, right? Or crit up or something. That's the one we'll be really excited about. I don't know. For all I know, there's some really good ones. But there seems to be one of each element of some variety, so... I've got earth, water, fire, ice, thunder. That's a pretty good spread, I think. Alright, now, I would say it's possible I missed some flower petals in here. Obviously, we're heading to the bottom to get the locked rooms. But now that I've seen it, I'm going to be looking in corners and stuff like that. Because it was kind of in a corner... I guess we take some of these fights. In the Temple of Fiends, right? The flowers were in a spot where you don't normally go. It would be maybe a bit easy to find them if they put them on the standard path. So I'm going to check the left side here. Yep. I might have even seen that if I'd walked over here the first time. I had a feeling. But I didn't want to risk, you know, getting stun locked or something. Do you think it's safe to assume one per dungeon at this point, maybe? Is there going to be a choice again, too? Oh, it's a good thing I saved before we went down here. Okay, it's just... Oh, maybe we get them both no matter what. Maybe it's like they're in pairs, and it's just which one do you get earlier. That's okay. If that's the case, I'm not too mad. It would be interesting if there was actually... That was a special attack. Yeah, it would be interesting if there was actually different builds available. Right now, it seems to just be which one you get first, and then you get the other one in a minute. These are all empty, by the way. But, okay, probably one per dungeon for now. I'm going to assume the next one's in Earth Cave or something. I wonder how many more, like, innate traits we will get from searching around. Because that's already... I thought the Samurai was doing pretty good already. Those are some pretty potent upgrades. Okay, well, I'm glad we went back. Definitely right call there. Please, just let me go. Oh, yeah. Well, this is why we should always have the Fire 2 queued up. And this is only the Marsh Cave version. I did get a lot of good comments when I... seems like maybe no one else has used them before, but the Stungeon for stunning undead in the dungeon, and then especially for the stun dead, I think that was the big hit for sure. I would say Marsh is like a baby Stungeon, Earth is a big boy Stungeon, and then the Ice Cave is the boss stun. If I had to rank them. It's the Cobras. Or no, it's not the Cobras, it's the Wizards. Whatever. It's a trap tile that I didn't need to fight, but this is how little I care. Oh, water, nice. Actually, not that nice, doesn't really matter. It is very good on evade. I guess if I hadn't augmented the chain armor, it's about the same. Yeah. Right? Can we... Okay, question. If you deconstruct an augmented armor, you do not get the earth back. Okay, so you don't get ores back. It seems like you only get those crystals or whatever there are for the special features. So far. And I'm not even sure if they come back, like if I deconstruct the rune sword and put the anti-spell caster item into a different weapon, can I deconstruct that one again to keep moving it around, or is it only from findable items, And you guys don't have to leave comments. I will figure it out. I guess I should put a disclaimer in my videos every now and then. I don't really want backseat game. Sometimes I am legitimately asking questions for chat or the commenters to answer. But when it's new, in case you're wondering, I'm just asking it to the cloud and planning on figuring it out myself. This is one of the reasons I record a fair number of videos in advance. This is the Bard one, right? It's so that people can't spoil things for me, because episode 1 and 2 comments tend to be full of, this is exactly how everything works in the game. And the new classes, here are all the mechanics you don't know. People, and it's not like it's a bad thing exactly, but I don't want to play like that. So I want to play on my own once. So if I record these in advance, sure, I can't take your tips into account, but at least I'm not spoiled constantly. Alright, and that should be that. I will deconstruct... Didn't I get a silver dagger? Yeah, the silver dagger at the very least. And I think everything else we'll keep for the moment. Cool. Oh, no, I want to deconstruct the ash heart, because no one can use it. Anti-undead. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what weapon I'm going to put that on, but that's really interesting. Okay. I might not like the tools for Machinist yet. Maybe never. But the crafting system... Or not the crafting, sorry. The crafting for the skills I think is garbage. But the forging system I think is cool. The augmenting. At the very least, the augmenting. I haven't forged anything yet, so I have no idea if that's actually good. But soon enough. Hopefully I didn't miss any flowers, but I doubt there was more than one. This fight is pretty scary, so let's blast them. I mean, you could try to inflict darkness. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, it worked. Or we could just kill them. If I'd attacked, we would have just killed them all, probably, but whatever. I mean, it did affect 4 out of 4 scorpions, right? That's something. They're not resistant to status or anything. They just hit hard. Of all the things to try to blind, they're probably one of the better ones. I suppose one of the reasons the darkness spell is bad is because anyone that can learn the darkness spell can learn fire 2, lightning 2, ice 2. And if you're going to be fighting things that need to die because they do too much damage, you want to kill them. Whereas my Machinist doesn't have anything else to do other than chip damage right now. So if they're not immune to blind, might as well, I guess. It's not like the crafted item is particularly expensive or hard to build. So there, yeah, I can give them some utility there. I wish it wasn't. We probably want to focus the ghouls specifically if we get a turn. I wish you didn't have to go through all the steps to craft them. I think it's too many steps. Oh wait, auto crossbow isn't all bad. I haven't used it in a while. Okay, what happened there? That was... So it counts as a... I'm glad I used it, because I may have never used it again. So it counts as a weapon. Uses your weapon attack formula. But it must... Yeah. So it's using your base stats. So we literally needed to be level 10. And then auto crossbow gives us plus 10 hit. And that must be plus 10 damage as well. So your strength really scales it. I thought the intelligence might scale it, but it's actually strength. So level 10 is the time when the auto crossbow goes from 1 hit to 2 hits. And that means the damage is actually 16 to 32 base. With 2 attacks, 32 to 64. That's not too bad. Okay, okay. That scales a lot better than I thought it would. Okay. I still don't like having to craft them manually. But I was expecting it to be literally useless. 10 damage was just not enough, right? But I think there should be something that says it uses your weapon formula or something. Because most spells... I can't actually think of any skill or spell that uses your weapon formula. Even the dancer dances that do damage use a different formula, I believe. And nothing else is even close, I don't think. Unless maybe some samurai skills, but they're new, so I don't know how they work. But anything from the old Renaissance, I can't think of a magic, a magic button that uses your physical damage calculation for multiple attacks. Heck, the bow can't even do multiple attacks, but the auto crossbow does. There's no precedent for this to even work like that. I could have a literal bow equipped, and it only does 1 shot. Okay, it's all good. Alright, well this took a lot longer cleaning up than I thought, but we're still gonna get to Dwarf before we run out of time today. I wanna get to Dwarf, maybe also Melmond and Crescent before we wrap up the episode. These episodes might be a little bit longer, because there's a lot of new content for me to experiment with, and I want to test it out, and I want to talk about it, and I don't want to find it out between episodes, right? I should be actually lightninging these guys down, because... Does the Odd Eye actually drop anything? I haven't actually killed one yet. Oddler, where are you at? Wind Ore. See, I don't have any Wind Ore. I would like to get 1 Wind Ore, please. Just to see what it does. I bet you Wind Ore might be like hit percent or something? Or evade. It's probably just evasion. Lame. I bet you it's evade, and I bet you it's garbage. Okay, we're gonna put a tent on the ocean, and we're gonna get an Odd Eye pack, because I want 1 wind. But I don't want to fight every single battle. Don't do a hard reset, because there's no Odd Eyes early on. Just do softs. I mean, we can fight a shark, sure. There we go. Please drop 1. Nothing. Dang it. I just want 1 so I can see what it does. And also show you guys. I'm not going to look up my chart. I do have a chart that shows all the water encounters, because I was trying to... Well, it happens more in Renaissance than it did in the vanilla game, basically. But there's... The search for, like... I should use Lightning too here, but... you know, I needed Odd Eyes to learn Gaze when I had a Blue Mage, for instance, right? So how long does it take to find one of those? Well, it can take a while. So having the encounter tables was kind of nice for searching out certain things. It's usually more hassle than I like to do, but hey. Over time, I do pick up a couple new tricks and techniques. Now, I think, assuming the gun formula isn't broken, level 12 we will be getting 2 shots. That might feel okay. Still a ways away, but running out of tents and stuff, that's fine. Actually, nah, it's fine. There's no choices. I was gonna say I could save before crafting, but it shouldn't matter. Hey, there's the next scroll. Wait, that was a new one. Ah, there is some new weapons as well. Boost tool durability? What does that mean? Do they not break immediately? It does more damage than a silver hammer, and it has hit rate. Ooh, that's a decision there. A new device. The Debilitator. That's a much higher level tool for Edgar. I missed one! No! Or did I miss one? Can't believe I missed one already. 3 random elemental weaknesses. I mean, yeah. I mean, in the FF6, the Debilitator gives you 1 random elemental weakness, and it's still pretty good if you're not playing like optimally or anything. But like if you're just casually playing, it is pretty good to give bosses an elemental weakness, assuming you get one you can actually take advantage of. Sometimes you'll get like holy and not have anything that does holy damage or something. But 3 is pretty good. 1 to each full AoE. Okay. Okay. Maybe these aren't as bad as my first impressions. Okay. I need space for some armor. Truth be told, even if I want silver bracelets, I can just buy them soon enough. Iron helmet might be an upgrade. Just for the night. Okay, 1 wood. We can get dragon slaying. I gotta remember to sell the power staff. Interesting. Just for interest's sake, that skill on the hammer isn't like transferable, is it? It's not even in the list, is it? The novice hammer? Was I just blind? No, all the weapons are here, and then it's all the armor. I guess they don't want you to break it. It's kind of funny. Alright. First silver armor. Red mage. It is an upgrade generally. Usually. I think I just want the silver right now. And I'll pick this up just to construct it as well, I guess. We can actually loot everything and just delete it as we go. Would be great to get a couple more armor, like, inventory slots. Just so it's a little bit less micromanagement, but it's alright. Okay, so, forging. I do have enough silver. I could start seeing some of these recipes. Now, I kind of assume they're just the silver versions. But I don't have a silver gun. That's a great sword. Yeah, he can equip it. No one can equip. That would be like Dark Knight. This is the knife, probably. The bow. But I don't have a silver bow. You can buy them, I think. Assumedly a silver axe. Silver hammer. A bell? Harp? I don't know. There's no silver bell, is there? Nunchucks? There's no silver nunchucks either. Silver spear I do have. I've never seen a silver staff before. That's the silver sword. I've never seen a silver whip. That's the silver katana, or whatever we're going to call them. But it needs fangs. We need fangs without a hunter. I sure hope you don't need an archer to get those. I don't have chain material yet. Looks like you need 2 hand... Wait, are we going to make sword chucks? You're gonna take 2 swords and the chain, except it's axes this time. So this is like upgrades, I think. Iron bow plus stuff. I have the stuff, just not the iron bow. Cat claw upgrade. Fire and lightning. Onyx greatsword upgrade. 2 muskets. And a bunch of... and a core. I don't know how to make cores yet. Hey, there's our hammer. We're actually not that far off. We have 1 of each ore. You just need that chain, whatever the chain is. Can I deconstruct chain armor to get chains? And then just go straight to the better hammer? Mithril bell upgrade. Mithril harp upgrade. Iron nunchucks. This has to be... no way. This has got to be sword chucks. 2 short swords plus an iron nunchuck with a chain. Okay. And the fighter... I didn't know this was in, but when I was naming my guy Fighter from 8-Bit Theater on episode 1, I'm like, I wonder. If someone spoiled it in the comments, you are bad. But, if you don't know the reference, go read 8-Bit Theater. Iron Staff plus Iron Hammer? Platinum Spear... Mithril sword upgrade, whip upgrade. Assumedly just silver armor, silver bracelet, silver gloves, helmet, shield. The shield gets a lot of... The silver stuff gets a lot of augment slots. Silver boots might be new. An upgrade to steel armor. I wonder if this is dragon armor. Like it's got all the elements. Gold bracelet with everything. I don't think these are going to be too hard to make. 1 of each element. I've already got 1 of each, technically. I mean, I need to farm some wind and ice and stuff, but it's not that hard to get. Interesting. Okay. Spicy. So what do we do? I'm going to buy the boots, because I have no idea what these are. Right? It was just to double check what it said there. It's just 5 silver? That's not bad. Mithril boots. So you spend silver to get mithril. And then it remembers the craft now. Dwarf forged silver. Okay, let's see what those do. Cool, this is great. I love it. Armor. Wait. What? Excuse me? Also, I need to double check if I can get chains from my chain armor. No, that was something else you're gonna have to deconstruct, I assume. But wait! Didn't I... Oh! I see. Ah. So there is some money gating here. They're not that good. Interesting. Okay, so you forge it, but then you have to buy it. That's kind of funny. I want the gun, then. That's not much better. Is it? Isn't that worse? 6 damage, plus 5 hit, 100 crit. Is that... It's got augment slots. Maybe that's the idea. Yeah, you get 2 more augment slots. But otherwise, it's kind of bad. Maybe that's the idea, is these silver weapons are all about... what am I trying to say? Augment slots rather than raw stats. Was there any rare ones that are on the... We need chains, iron bow. I think we can pick up in the next town. But no one can equip it. That's got to be for the archer only. Sword chucks. I mean, if I had a chain, I would do it right now. It looks like the rare ones are for specific classes, right? No one can equip anything except the nunchucks. So none of that is too exciting for me. And I'm going to assume this is mithril armor or silver armor, one or the other. Let's make sure we get the katana. Oh, I need fangs. Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to get fangs. Dang it. The stuff I want, I can't get. Well, I want to see what these are more than anything. So it's not the silver one then. Yeah, we are learning how to make mithril gear. I mean, I'm going to have to get them all, but that'll take some money. Honestly, it's not even that bad. It's just money. I need to buy silver equipment and then get a lot of silver ore. I'll figure out what the cheapest way to farm silver ore is. It's probably not hard to figure out. So, yeah, mithril equipment rather than silver. It's actually weaker than silver, oddly enough. Huh. I guess it's just for the augment slots. Is there... Are those the ones that have upgrades? Maybe, yeah. You can upgrade the mithril boots, the mithril shield, the mithril helmet. At least some of them, anyway. Well, first impression, the craftable weapons aren't winning me over just yet. Let's look at enchantment here, because now, or augmenting, right? So here are options. You can put in those anti-slots. That's pretty cool. Wind is evade. Water is magic defense. That's not enough to matter. Earth is absorb. Fire is probably the best one. 3 damage. 5 crit. If you're going a crit build, that could be good. And ice actually is pretty solid too. Hit rate can be nice. Get you another swing. Depending on the weapon, you might want ice and fire in just for raw stats. Especially if those hold on to... Like, if you put them into armor... Yeah. Like, armor that gives you damage is probably better than armor that gives you more armor. But the special crystals are going to be the coolest part. Ah, boy, I don't know what I'm going to want to do. Sheesh. I mean, you could make the fighter have massive M defense, because he can kind of lure enemies to attack him, and then he'd not be stunned or anything. Massive absorb, but probably damage and maybe hit or crit. Okay, I'll save that for later. We're already kind of run out of time. I still want to get to Melmond. I didn't even buy any of those. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It turns out that the crafting is kind of expensive, right? Because you need 4,000, 8,000 kind of numbers to even buy the thing you just forged. So it's gonna take a little bit of time. We need a way to get chain and fangs, I think. I need to make a shopping list. Deconstruction list. And I did potentially miss a tool. I wonder if it was in Marsh or somewhere around Elfland that I just missed it. I'm gonna have to try to find it. Maybe off camera I'll do a little bit of exploring. Jim. Hey, Jim. Is there anyone up here that has tools? I mean... Just quick reading here, you know... It seemed to be, like, new villagers that didn't exist. Like, the first one in Canaria or Castle Canaria was definitely not there originally, up in the second floor of the castle. Alright. Nothing obvious here. I wonder if you get chain off of steel armor, because it's very expensive. I did deconstruct a silver bracelet for silver. I think these guys just give us iron, so nothing really interesting there. There's that iron bow, which I can probably upgrade. I can also do... Well, the short swords don't matter until I can get the chain. Nothing else here that we need, I don't think. But yeah, the iron bow had an upgrade. Yeah, I'm going to have to write some of these down. A quick trip over to Crescent, and we'll probably end our episode there. And I'll have to think about what I want to do between episodes. We also have to buy some magic and stuff as well. Hey, look, the hammer did good damage. Funny how getting 2 attacks just... It's just... You know, the reason I went with the hammer was 2 attacks. Like, that's just so much more reliable than missing and sometimes critting, but... Yeah, 71. It's not as good as the fighters yet, but we're getting there. Yeah, okay. Pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with this update. We can probably 1v4 a giant, right? Our weapons aren't really at Crescent Lake tier, but yeah, we chop them up, no problem. So I can do some grinding over here if I need to. This will get me money pretty quick. Compared to Kaizoku's anyway. Yeah, 1 rounding giants is a good sign. I didn't do the Peninsula Power, but you could definitely do that with Fire 2 as well if you want. But now that we can sail around, it doesn't really matter. Okay, item shop. I think we have access to all these already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I know I will need more spikes. I know I ran out of those, but yeah. I'll deal with my unfortunately large amount of micro in between episodes to buy stuff like that. So here's your silver stuff. Nothing new. I will do some... I mean, I want to buy the silver stuff for the fighter anyway. Looks like he's the only one that can use silver gear. It's only 1 augment slot, so it looks like you get better stats, but only 1 augment. So long term, probably the mithril will be better until we start getting like flame armor and stuff. I might figure that out between episodes. We'll see. It's gonna take a little while. There's an actual sword. Is that good? In theory, he could have the platinum pentathrust spear. So the silver spear was equivalent to the silver sword, approximately. The platinum spear is a little bit better than the silver sword. And the falcata is honestly more silver sword tier than platinum spear tier. There's also a better bow, but, you know, bow's worthless. I think we get him the falcata, even though the spear's... Right, I wanted to sell this anyway. And honestly, I'm going to sell that stupid Vulcan bow. It's fine. I kind of wasted my money buying that. I kind of want to figure out... like, for pure damage, the Platinum Spear is winning. And that does catch us up with the fighter. A little bit higher than the fighter temporarily. But, you know, Pentathrust. Ooh. Physical attack 5 times, but 300 TP. Or we can use our other sword. Now, actually, what we want to do with that, if we're going to go sword, you want to unequip the shield, and we'll be switching to bucklers anyway, which are slightly better. Are they? Basically exactly the same. Funny. That is funny. Wooden shield and buckler, exactly the same. What's the point? I don't understand it. Bucklers are very expensive. Anyway, we unequip that shield so that our... We're getting 37 damage here. And that puts us in the lead. Wow. Suddenly, the Ronin is actually out DPSing the fighter. Sure, you lose your shield, but... that's pretty good. I don't think I need the momentum from the silver spear. I know I will need a lot of silver, though. And, alright. So, yeah, forging-wise, we're probably going to move some of this stuff around. Is there any other weapons to consider while I'm here? I mean, silver bow, maybe. Silver hammer is not as good as the training hammer. I kind of have a feeling the training, or the silver knife, will be the most efficient way to get silver now. Oops, I didn't actually buy that. But 800 gold is just so much cheaper. Yeah, that's 200 gold per silver. That's the cheapest silver I think I've seen. Not by a huge margin, but I think that's the cheapest. I can do some math, but I'm pretty sure that'll be the best. It tends to be the cheapest weapon, seems to be the best deal. So I can save up a bunch of silver, which lets me unlock all the mithril weapons and armor once I have enough money. And maybe I'll do some thinking about that before the next episode if I want to switch over to those right away. Because it does mean we could start putting... I forget, like, I think there was 3 slots on most of them. That's, even if there's 2 or 3, like, let's say 2.5 on average times 4. Let's say there's 10 slots on average for a fighter. What was that 3 damage? That's 30 damage. That would be pretty darn sweet. I'm not sure what the best augment is, of course, but that's good. Okay, well, I'm gonna get some money, and I'm gonna try to find the tool I missed. Which I assume is just in some tile somewhere that I just didn't... No, it would be scroll. That would be a skill. I don't know if I've missed a skill. I'm pretty sure I've missed a tool, so I'm gonna have to talk to people and see if I've missed one somewhere. I'm not reading anything, but just figured maybe I'd find another one here. But yeah, I feel like I've missed a tool. Being a tool, maybe it's like, would they put it on like a tomb or something? It could be. I'll do some searching on my own, probably, and some gearing up, because I think what I need right now is some money, and I want to get like level 4 and maybe level 5 magic, and I want to make sure I've got enough crafting materials so I don't have to spend too long, you know, buying all this stuff so I can show it off, basically, because this is cool. I'm very interested. I'm not a huge fan of the micromanagement, so I'm going to do some of that off camera. I guess I don't mind it as much. It's just in the middle of an episode, it's a bit too much. So, yeah, we're going to leave it here. Next time, I'll have a little bit of an update for the crafting and the tools, and we will probably go into Earth, because, of course, that's the next place to go. So thanks for watching, folks. Hope you've enjoyed, and have a great day.